Natalie Wood was an actress who is best known for her roles in West Side Story and Rebel Without a Cause. She started out in Hollywood when she was a child. One day, Natalie's mother, Maria, went to a psychic who told the woman that her daughter will become a beauty known worldwide. But she also warned Maria that this beauty would meet an unfortunate end in dark waters. The prediction of her daughter becoming a huge star excited Maria. And from then on, Natalie was pushed by her mother to make it big in Hollywood. Her mother also told Natalie of the other prediction that the psychic made to her. Hearing this, made Natalie terrified of water from a young age. She even went into panic attacks as she tried to wash her hair, and she never learned to swim. When Natalie was a child working on the set of The Green Promise, the scene called for Natalie to run across a bridge during a rainstorm. The bridge had rough dark water running underneath it, and the bridge was meant to break away after Natalie made it safely to the other side. This, however, did not happen, and as Natalie was still running on the bridge, a crew member accidentally made the bridge collapse too soon. Natalie fell into the water and broke her wrist. She struggled to make it back up on her own and was helped by crew members. That incident made Natalie even more afraid of the water. On the 29th of November 1981, Natalie Wood's body was discovered floating in the water off the coast of California's Catalina Island at around 8 a.m. She was just 43 years old. The night before her body was discovered, 4 people were on a boat called the Splendor. These 4 people were Natalie, Natalie's husband, Robert Wagner, Natalie's co-star from the movie, Brainstorm, Christopher Walken, and captain of the Splendor, Dennis Tavern. On November 28, the 3 movie stars went out to dinner at a restaurant. During the dinner, Robert became angry and felt extremely jealous of the chemistry Natalie and Christopher had between them. They had consumed a lot of alcohol, and when they left the restaurant, the bar owner thought to inform the harbor master of this to make sure they get on board their boat safely. Robert was still seething when they got back on board the boat. Dennis Tavern recalled that Robert had smashed a wine bottle onto the coffee table in front of Natalie and Christopher. Robert asked Christopher if he was trying to sleep with his wife. Christopher immediately left the room to avoid the confrontation. Natalie also left and went into her stateroom. Robert followed her in there, and they began to argue very loudly. Dennis was so worried about what he was hearing that he thought Natalie was being assaulted, and he asked Christopher to intervene. Christopher told him that he would never get involved in a fight between a husband and wife. Dennis didn't want the couple to think that he was eavesdropping, and so he turned his music up louder, but they were arguing so loudly that he could still hear what was going on. Dennis thought that it would help if he intervened. He knocked on their room door. Robert answered the door and told the captain to go away. The couple moved onto the deck and continued to argue. Multiple people in nearby boats could hear the fight, but they assumed that there was just a party going on and didn't think anything of it. Suddenly, at around midnight, all goes quiet. Dennis goes out onto the deck to see if everything was okay. He found Robert standing there on his own. He told the captain that Natalie was missing and implied that she had probably taken the dinghy on her own so she could go into town. The captain became worried because he knew that Natalie was afraid of the water, and he didn't believe that she would leave the boat to get onto a dinghy on her own. Dennis suggested that turn on the searchlight and make a call that they have a missing passenger. Robert told the captain not to do anything and told the captain that they should just wait for her to return on her own. Robert opened a bottle of alcohol and drank with the captain for an hour. After an hour, Dennis became increasingly worried and again suggested that they make a call to search for a missing person. Robert finally agreed to this, and a call was made to the Coast Guard at 1:30 a.m. A lifeguard discovered her body, and they also found the dinghy a mile away from where her body was found. Natalie was wearing wool socks, a nightgown and a down jacket. The coroner found that she had drank about 8 glasses of wine and ingested a motion sickness pill and a painkiller. He theorized that Natalie tried to get onto the dinghy on her own but slipped and fell into the water, and that she had drowned probably because the coat she was wearing became heavy in the water. Mix this with her being in an already intoxicated state, it made it difficult for her to swim to save her life. In 1997, when asked in a Playboy interview what had happened to Natalie, Christopher claimed to not know for sure what had happened. He does have his own theory. He said that the dinghy, which was tied to the boat, kept bouncing against the boat and making noises. He thinks that Natalie was irritated by this and tried to move it. He said that there was a ski ramp that was partially in the water and he knew it was slippery. He thinks Natalie slipped on the ramp, hit her head and fell into the water. In February 2018, the police named Robert a person of interest in the case. Robert was the last person to have been with Natalie before she disappeared, and the coroner found plenty of bruising and scratches on Natalie's body. This indicates that she was assaulted before she drowned. Natalie's sister, Lana, believes that Robert is the one to be at fault for Natalie's death, and she continues to urge Robert to tell the truth about what happened that night. Robert said that after he had smashed the wine bottle and Christopher had gone to bed, he and the captain swept up the broken wine bottle. He said that he thought that Natalie was also in bed, but when he went to kiss her goodnight, she wasn't in the room. Robert maintains that he had nothing to do with Natalie's death. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please subscribe to the channel.